this is Anna from Cat Realty, and today I'm here to talk to you about the new nationality laws that were just approved on Thursday, the 28th of November of 2025. Lots of people are having concerns about these changes, so I'm just here to explain them. For those of you who don't know, Cat Realty is a relocation and investment agency that helps expats relocate to Portugal in a sustainable lifestyle way. We help you figure out what's the best location for you according to your budget and needs, and do everything very tailored to what is right for you. So if this makes sense to you, please do check our website in www.savvycatrealty.com, where all of the information is listed very transparently, and we work with both rentals and purchases, so you can reach out to us also to book a free consultation call to get more clarity on the services. So going into today's topic, the new nationality law in Portugal that was just approved in Parliament. First of all, it is very unlikely that this will go back because it was approved with the vast majority. It was approved with 157 votes. So that is way over the minimum majority required. So it is definitely going strong. What are the big major changes? And this has been a bit of a polemic issue, because the nationality in Portugal, you used to be able to obtain it with 5 years residency in Portugal. So once you became a valid resident of Portugal with a valid visa, after 5 years you could request nationality and become a Portuguese national. And now those rules have changed. So now, for those that are from Portuguese-speaking countries like Brazil, Angola, Mozambique, and for those that are from the European Union, and which the UK is excluded, by the way, the new requirement is 7 years. So instead of the 5 years, it goes up to 7 years. And for any other country, it becomes 10 years of residency. The residency, there was some polemics and also about how this change was going to happen, whether it's going to take effect immediately or there is going to be a transition period. And it has been decided the far-right party, Chega, did not leave any room for negotiation here. The other parties did try to move forward with a transitional period, but there was no agreement there. And the current situation is, as soon as the law is published, which is likely going to happen today, you will get the new rules in place, which means the 10 years to nationality. Another thing that has changed, it is no longer possible to ask for nationality for Jews. This was a rule that took place to basically, as a show of goodwill because of the Jew massacre that happened in Europe and how a lot of Jews fled to Portugal and built community here. And it was actually one of the highest percentages of nationality requests were from Jews. And this has been terminated. So it's no longer possible to request nationality just because you are a Jew. Other things are pretty much similar. There were some changes on the nationality by marriage. It used to be possible to request nationality by marriage almost immediately after you got legally married in Portugal. Currently, there is now implemented a 3-year of living together and being married until you are able to request nationality for your partner. So that's another change. Regarding the Portuguese descendants, the rules also stay the same. So you can request nationality if you have a direct Portuguese ascendant up to your second generation, so that is grandparents. If your grandparents were born in Portugal or lived in born in a Portuguese colony and lived in Portugal part of their lives, you can request Portuguese nationality by descendants. And currently, if it's the third generation, so if it was your great-grandparents, you can also request it, but only after 3 years, other than being able to request it immediately. Another thing that lots of people was concerned about is how is this going to be accounted for? So basically there is a lot of issues because our lovely immigration service, IMA, is a bit slow, and it has been known to sometimes take years to get to the actual residency cards. And Chega was initially proposing that the nationality, the time to nationality was to be counted only once you had the official card, and that is not going to happen. So what happens is the time to nationality starts counting from official legal residence. So once you have your official address and a valid visa in Portugal, the time to nationality starts counting. So for those of you who are kind of in the middle of this process, you will definitely be affected by this change. So let's imagine for those who were 4 years in Portugal and just had 1 year missing, they may be looking at either 3 or 6 years to get their nationality. The big difference between being a national and being a resident tends to be on the European Union rights of circulation. The major difference is that you cannot vote on the national elections, you can vote on the local ones, and you don't get the European Union free circulation. Most of the other things, you do get the same rights as Portuguese people if you just have the residency. So in my personal opinion, I do think these changes are very fair. They are not extreme at all. I do think this is kind of a needed measure, as Portugal was started to be known as the back door of Europe, and a lot of people were coming to Portugal just because they wanted to get access to the rest of Europe and fast nationality. And of course there's talks that the people who are looking for that will look elsewhere. I honestly think that's okay. If you're not coming to Portugal because you want to live in Portugal, then you can go somewhere else to get what you want, right? Another thing that is going to slightly change but has not been fully regulated yet, so it has been approved that the new tests for nationality will include some extra requirements, like knowing the system, the legal system, and knowing the culture, and having a higher level of Portuguese proficiency. So once you get your time in Portugal that you need to apply for nationality, there is going to be kind of a test that you will need to go through. And it was approved that this test will have more requirements, but it has not been defined yet exactly how this test will be. It's just been agreed that there are going to be higher requirements on Portuguese proficiency, knowledge of Portuguese culture and Portuguese law. Another thing that was approved is that it will now be possible to lose nationality if you commit serious crimes. This actually was also some sort of a polemic issue, because it may be inconstitutional, depends on how it's done, and it has been decided that it's going to be applied as a penalty on the legal system, so it's only going to be applied by the courts and not by the state directly, which means that if you commit a serious crime with prison time, as part of your sentence, the judge can remove the Portuguese nationality. I do believe there's a period for this. I think it's between 2 and 3 years if you commit this serious crime, and you are able to lose your nationality if it's between 2 and 5 years after you gained your nationality. I personally also really like this measure because, I mean, if you're coming here to be a criminal, probably you're not that welcome. I think this more or less covers the things about nationality. I do not believe it will affect most of the people coming here. So if you are coming here because you want to have a better life, a better lifestyle, a better quality of life, the good climate, the culture, everything, all of that will stay the same. Like I said, the rights for residents and the rights for citizenship, the major change is the access to Europe and being able to vote on the presidential elections. You still get access to healthcare. You still get the same rights as the Portuguese people. You still have access to education for your children. So you still are able to live very comfortably in Portugal without getting nationality. And I think, once again, that these rules were quite fair and the new laws are very aligned with what the country needs right now. So I hope that this video was helpful. I would love to hear your opinions about these changes and whether or not you think they are aligned. The only thing is that I do think it will be problematic for those who are at the last stretch of the nationality, and suddenly there is this change without a transitional period. Oh, another thing is that they actually tried to implement this with backtracking to June. And I also told that in the previous video. This is not going to happen. The same thing happened back in the Golden Visa. It is unconstitutional and illegal to try and implement laws that take place before the time they were implemented. And I'm still surprised that our government hasn't learned this for the last time this happened. It will not happen. It will keep not happening. If they try to do that again, it will still not go through because it will not be approved by the Constitutional Court. So I do think it is unfortunate there should be a transitional period for certain cases, like those who had less than a year until they obtained their nationality. I do think it would have been fair to have this transitional period. Another thing would be to have kind of a conversion for those who go from 5 to 10 years, for the time to count proportional to the amount of added time that was created. So in case of those who went from 5 to 10 years, it would basically be double. So every month would count as 2 months. I think that could be fair, but it would make a very long transitional period. So it is what it is. The no transitional period was applied. So for those of you who were very close to get your nationality, unfortunately, you will have to wait until the new rules apply to you and the new duration of the request applies to you. So once again, I hope this was helpful. And we are here every week with information about Portugal, both political, cultural, about cities, about the real estate market. And if you find that useful, do subscribe to our channel. We also provide a lot of free information on our website, blog, and www.savvycatchrealty.com. So I hope to see you around and to see you all again next week. Bye!